Yeah, I think it is. Michigan, you're right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we on?
We're on.
DJ, are we recording?
We are recording.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's me. Nastia is not here.
What's going on? You got fired last week.
She's not here this week.
Last episode,
Last
we
week
fired
I got
DJ.
fired.
Yeah.
It's going to be really tough in here. You're going to have to do the best with what you got. Do what you have.
Man,
do what you're given.
This is a letdown.
Well, once I tell you the topic, you'll be more excited.
Okay, this is a letdown so far.
So you sent me a message like it always starts last week on our new favorite app, Helpful.
I don't remember this message.
You said we got to do a podcast episode and we're going to call it The Secret.
Ooh, okay.
You know what it is now?
I know what it is.
Okay.
Kind of. Remind me again.
Okay. So The Secret.
I'm rolling on my sleeves.
The secret is why we are so comfortable giving away all of our secrets. Why we tell everybody lessons, the books, the things that we're doing.
Give away your emails.
Give away all the email templates. Give away every marketing secret that we have. You give people the secret to like what time you wake up, the things that you read, the things that you listen to. Why is it?
It doesn't matter.
Most people would say, "Wait, isn't that your competitive advantage? You don't want to give that away. So why do you give it all away?"
I'm happy to give it away.
Tell me
right?
why.
Happy to give away because the real secret, the secret that we've discovered is we can give away all the content. And by the way, you already know all the answers, so you don't need the content. But the secret is that no one is actually going to carry out and do the work that's necessary to implement that day in, day out. They are going to do it once, twice, maybe 3 times, maybe 10th time. Then they get bored or tired, and then they give up. That's the fundamental secret.
Like the example that we always use is fitness because it's just such an easy one, right?
Easy
like
one. Everyone can relate to it.
Everybody
I'm still
knows.
not in size 32s, by the way.
Exactly. We know all the.
Still a mess.
We know all the secrets. You know what it takes.
Yep.
And it's the same thing. And so that's why we say, you know what, here are all the, because you know what, you can copy all the emails that we send, but those still aren't coming from us. And most people are going to be like, you know what, maybe I'll take the first one. I'm not going to take all 15 of them.
Yep.
Or if I tell you all the books, you know, you've read 1,000,000 books. If you tell somebody, read these 10 books, they're probably not going to do it.
Nope.
What was so there's a Eric Thomas, look him up, Google him. He had a great
E.T. the
rant.
Preacher.
Yeah. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, E.T. the Preacher
Yeah.
is his name. Look him up. Eric Thomas. And so he preaches. And he's maybe too electric for this crowd.
Way too electric.
I was like, DJ, we need to get him to speak.
He's like, we should have Eric Thomas. What about Eric Thomas speaking at Hypergrowth? I was like, man, I want people to come back next year. I want half the audience in tears.
Why, he's too real?
He's too real.
Too real. Oh, I love it.
He'd get up in front of a room of 40, 300-pound NFL players and shatter them. So I'm not sure the sales and marketing.
I love him.
don't know how that would work.
He's like my Wheaties in the
But
morning.
he broke this down. He broke this whole. He broke the whole thing down basically.
About giving away, telling everyone everything that he does. But the secret is that they don't have that energy, that drive to keep going. You know, when things get bad, when you get bored, when you get distracted, do you have the energy to keep going, right? And so he ranted on that and ranted on his discipline. And that's how he gets to where he is not because he's smarter, not because he has a secret tactic, not because, he knows someone special. He doesn't know any of those things. He doesn't have an advantage, I should say, in any of those places. But the secret is that he's willing to, as he says, grind.
Right.
Right?
It's
365.
Would you say it again?
Grind.
Yeah.
365.
So it's not some days.
No.
Not every other day.
Sundays,
Not when you
or
feel like
Saturdays.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. 365.
So there's a couple things. So I wanted to go back, and we talked about Jim Rohn a lot. I wanted to pull out a quote from him because this is so relatable. It's exactly what we're talking about, and you actually just said
everything comes back to Jim Rohn.
He said, discipline is the bridge between thought and accomplishment, right? And that's everything that is this one lesson, this short podcast that we're giving you today about The Secret.
That's absolutely it. And Eric Thomas goes on many rants about this whole thing, right? About that discipline, having that discipline, right?
Or he talks about like his wife was sick, right? And he's like, I will not accept this answer. And he keeps going.
Yes, you had this great story where he talked about his wife was diagnosed with MS, right? And, tragic kind of diagnosis. And he went to the doctors and they said that she's going to have to get a shot, with this giant needle every day. So he said, okay, so for how long? And they said every day. And he said, okay, So we'll do it for a month, a year. After a year, how much long after a year? And they were like, no, every day for the rest of her life. And he said, what he said to them was like, I do not accept that. I will not accept it. We will not accept that. And so he kept going back and back and back and trying to figure out another way. Then he discovered that there was an experimental drug that was available that could take the place of the shot. So he said, I want that drug. They said, oh, we didn't tell you about that drug because your insurance won't cover it. And so he went to his insurers. And he went once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. Each time got denied. Then he finally asked, how much does this drug cost? $10,000 a month. He said, I will get this drug. And he said, I will figure out a way to make $10,000 more a month because I need my wife to have this drug. So he got the drug. She's on the drug. Still have to take the needles. And so now they've gotten the shots down to 2 or 3 times per week. And his goal is to get her fully off those needles because in his mind, he will not accept the answer. He will put determination 365 days a year, grind through and figure out a way to do it. He has no secret. He has no formula. He has no discovery there. But he's willing to put in that grind to make it happen.
And it's the same. The no secret thing. It's why like one of my favorite versions of Seeking Wisdom that we do is when we dig in on successful people, right? Whether it's Patagonia, whether it's Nike,
the same story.
It's always the same story. Yep. Always the same story. Very rarely do you hear something like everybody wants it to be the Instagram story. Oh, they had this photo sharing app. It was around for a year, and then boom, they sold it, right? But the reality is, you dig in behind any of these people, there's always that story. That's always the truth.
I was listening to my homie Jeff Bezos the other day, who I love. Hero.
Wait, he's a jerk though. He's too controversial.
No, I love him. He's amazing. Anyway, listening to something, there was an interview that someone was doing with him in Washington, and they were asking about a couple different things. The Echo, so voice stuff. They were asking about a bunch of technology stuff that they've been deploying. And he said, you know what? The story is always the same, right? Like every new innovation that we release is a 10-year story, right? We started working on all of the things that you're bringing up 10 years ago, right? And so every overnight success story, he said, and we hear this over and over in all the books that we read and all the stories that we hear, every overnight success story is a 10-year story, right? Whether it's the 10 years of Bill Gates sleeping on his couch, right, before any of us knew his name, the 10 years that Zuckerberg put in before anyone heard his name. It's always the 10 dark years that people go through that no one ever talks about, even when it's Bezos, even when he's creating new products. And he says he doesn't think about this quarter's results or this year's results because this year's results were baked 5 years ago.
Crazy. And we talk about this all the time. It's like the snowball effect, right? And you rewind back, like the Shoe Dog example, that business started, everybody thinks, Nike IPO was in the 80s or something like that, right? They think that's when the business started. You got to go all the way back to the 60s.
Yep.
This guy was 60 years old by the time that happened.
That happened.
Yeah.
It's always the same. So there's no secret. That's the key.
All right.
And this week I replaced my, I've been drinking the Polar seltzers, but I've been buying cases of this
giving ads.
seltzer.
This is unbelievable.
Unsponsored. I have to ask Amy again because I don't know how to say this word here.
What is it?
I just know how to buy it.
LaCroix?
LaCroix seltzer. I love you. Keep shipping some seltzer over here.
DC got the seltzer in today.
Got everything.
This is good. This is good.
Product placement. But you know what I didn't get in?
What?
We need 5-star reviews.
We do.
5-star reviews have been flowing.
I got one. I got some fan love for today. This is
me.
From the founder of High Five.
Okay.
1, 2,
free product
3,
placement there.
4, 5. 5 stars.
Dude, you owe me some cash.
All the way from Cape Town, South Africa.
Ooh.
This is a short and sweet one, but I love it. I love Seeking Wisdom so much that I make the team listen with me on the way to client meetings.
You know what I call that guy?
What do you call that?
Leader.
A G. That's a leader.
That's a leader right
Gary,
there.
I hope you're listening to this. I hope your team is listening to this. Shout us out when you hear this review. We love getting these 5-star reviews.
I hope if I go to High Five, that Drift is on High Five.
I'm sure you will.
But I'm gonna go check that.
Let me just go check right now. This is unrelated to the secret. That's the one lesson. But something you mentioned behind the scenes a lot that you haven't mentioned, I want you to let the people know. 2 megatrends.
Oh, 2 megatrends.
I want you to talk about that.
I want to tell the people
Yeah,
about the megatrends?
tell them the secrets.
That's a secret though, dude.
All right.
2
Listen up.
megatrends. All right, listen up, people. There are 2 megatrends happening right now.
Oh, hold on. Shout out Gary. Gary, great 5-star review, but we're going to have a conversation about
All right, let's talk to
the
Gary.
messaging app on your website.
All right,
so
we're gonna talk to you.
shout out Gary. Anyway,
two mega trends happening right now. All right, this is what I talk about internally at Drift, but there's no secrets.
Sure.
One, messaging.
Yep.
That's why we're in messaging at drift.com. Two, video.
Go into both. First time.
Yeah.
This is the first time somebody's listening to us. Why are you so bullish on messaging?
Yep. So I'm bullish on megatrends,
Okay.
right? So one thing that you need to figure out how to do is to spot megatrends that are happening, right? And to be able to figure out how you pivot or adjust your business to take advantage of those trends.
How
Why?
have you figured that out in the past, though? Like, it's not like you just Google megatrends and boom, right? Like, what is your process?
Yeah, you see it every day. You see it in the apps that you use, right? If you want a very prescriptive way to do it is go look at Google Trends. Go look at what people are searching for. Go look at Twitter and kind of the trending tags. Look at what people are searching for.
Yep.
That's one way.
Okay.
If you need a step-by-step formula. But the real way to do it is look at how much time is being occupied by these things in our lives, whatever those things are in our lives, new things in our lives, and see and try to figure out if those are trends, bigger trends that are happening. So these two mega trends that I mentioned, messaging and video.
Yep.
And we think they're going to redefine everything out there.
Talk about video for a second.
Sure.
Like, why video been around forever? What has you so fired up about video this time around?
Well, that's a common thing with most mega trends. Is
Not
like,
brand new.
They're not brand new. They've been around. So video has been around online for a long time now. But what we're noticing is that as from a marketing standpoint, we've talked about in the past, is that from a marketing standpoint, marketing is about arbitrage opportunities, which fundamentally people do not understand. And so what that means is what worked yesterday will work less and less each day after that. And so if you go back 10 years ago, one trend that people wrote on was that trend around creating content and in the form of blog posts.
Yeah.
So content marketing happened, the inbound marketing trend happened, all of that stuff happened 10 years ago. Why was it an arbitrage opportunity? Because no one knew how to write a freaking blog post, right? And because of that, there was scarcity in the system, and it was hard to do, and therefore people who could do it were disproportionately rewarded, right? And so, but now anyone can buy a blog post for $5 on Fiverr. So like that doesn't stand out anymore. So next trend, is something that we're doing right here, podcasting. Why podcasting? Because one, it's hard to do.
Yep.
Most people don't know how to do it. Most people, you can't buy a podcast for $5 on Fiverr. Hard to outsource, and so that becomes hard. The next one, which is the hardest yet for any company, is video.
So hard.
So hard.
Podcast is hard because you need to be able. You can't fake it. You can fake a blog post a little bit. You can't fake this.
Yep.
Video is even harder.
Way harder, right? And it's a different form of intimacy, right? There's an intimacy that we get from reading an author's work, I should say. There's another form of intimacy that comes from something like this, podcasting, which is deeper, right, in some ways. And then there's video, which is yet another form of intimacy. And so right now, the big arbitrage opportunity is around video. And so that's why we're investing so much in video. Danielle and Amy are in the house.
Yo.
What's up? And we're investing so hard in there because we think that is the next big place, and that is where the disproportionate amount of attention is being focused right now. If we look at all of us, whether it's through IG or Snapchat stories or Facebook or YouTube or whatever, we're consuming more and more and more over video, or Helpful, our boys at Helpful. So much of our communication is happening through video. And then the other part of that, and they're almost linked, is around messaging, right? And messaging is what we do at Drift. And those two things are the big hyper trends that people should be aware of and should try to ride.
I love it because, I wanted you to say that because not too often do we get, sage advice from a guy like yourself, an old dude, an OG, an old guy.
Old guy. Yeah, but it's something that we talk about.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect place to talk about it right now perfect episode because we're talking about secrets.
Yep.
This is something we talk about internally all the time, but it's not a secret. Everyone can know.
And the reason I want you to say it with this is because the secret thing, we just told you, right? This is
what we're focused on.
You've done, I don't know, I'll make up the number every time, 8, 9, 10 companies, whatever the number is.
52.
52 companies. Yeah. And you're telling people, here are the trends. Here are the big trends. Like, this is where you would write checks. This is where you would invest. This is what you're thinking about in Drift. But
one's
two
gonna
things.
do
Number
it.
one, people are afraid of messaging from a marketing perspective
Yep.
because it's different than forms. How am I going to track it? How am I going to measure it? So you have to be comfortable with stepping outside
Yeah.
and saying, I want to do something new.
And you
if
know what happens when you take risk?
What?
Reward.
Totally. If you go back, one of my favorite charts about marketing that Brian Balfour shows all the time is all the marketing channels, right? First people to get on Facebook were able to build an audience on Facebook. Then what happened? 2 years later, everyone's on Facebook. Can your stuff stand out? No. Everyone's doing email. Everyone's doing everything. So if you can figure out one of these channels before everybody else, that's why we talk so much about having a company and a culture that's open to innovation and testing and trying new things, because that's the only way you're going to find out one of these new
and
channels.
if you want to stand out as a marketer or as a salesperson, you got to get into messaging right
Totally.
now. Get Drift immediately.
Yeah.
And you got to get it heavily into video, right? Those are the two places to invest in. And I'm happy to tell everyone that because I know almost no one's going to do it.
Yeah, so let's see. We want to see who does it, right? Prove the secret wrong. Maybe take the secret.
Prove me wrong.
Prove them wrong.
Let's go.
It's fun to prove
Also,
DC wrong. That's what you
tell
gotta
us
do.
about it in a 5-star review.
Oh, that'd be
all
nice.
right? And we still need that person who mentioned Amy, right? You haven't gotten to us because I need to send you a gift.
Yeah.
All right. Next person mentions Amy and Danielle.
Yep.
Super gift.
Whoa.
Let's go.
Don't forget Hypergrowth, Monday, September 25th.
Okay.
Woo! The
Tickets?
lineup, tickets, use the promo code Seeking Wisdom.
One word?
Seeking Wisdom, one word, uppercase, lowercase, whatever, however you spell it. No, you have to spell it the right way. But go and use that promo code. It's unbelievable the amount of people that have already gone and used it.
Yeah.
It doesn't run out. We are going to leave this on forever.
Yeah.
It's a $400 discount. It's crazy. $99 tickets to this event should be like, that is
Illegal.
Illegal. We are giving them away if you see what we're putting on for
DG,
this
you
event.
spending my cash, man. What's
I'm
going on?
spending our cash. Yeah,
right.
well, I mean, look, we've already had the discussion. Let me tell you, off the record conversation we had, DC and I, this event is not a revenue generating opportunity, okay? So that means it is going to be, he's cringing right now, it is going to be an amazing opportunity for you to come hang out.
DG, that doesn't mean a money losing opportunity.
We're not going to lose money.
Okay.
We're not going to lose. Okay, the result, the ROI on the event is going to be insane.
How are you going to measure it?
I'm not. Everyone's going to have UTM
Tags on them?
as they walk in.
We're putting QR codes
We're
on you.
putting QR codes
We're
everywhere.
going to scan you, and we're going to
Yeah.
measure ROI.
But seriously, 1,000 people. We got everyone from mindfulness experts to 5-time Olympians to fitness instructors to CEOs to CMOs to whatever you want. This is the goal that DC said, look, we're going to do an event, but it's got to be about business and professional growth and personal growth, and that's exactly what this is. This isn't the event. If you want to come and learn how to get better at Facebook ad targeting, this is not the
wrong
event for
event.
you.
Wrong event.
If you want to learn how to come in and maybe 10x the next thing that you're doing in your life or your job, this is where you need to be.
Let's go. I'll see you there. Get ready. I'm getting ready. I'm getting my speech ready. Let's go.
I've seen it. This is from a guy who doesn't prepare and doesn't take notes. DC, I've seen it. He already has the beginnings of his deck for September already whiteboarded out, which
gonna be
means
epic.
this is going to be huge.
This
I'm
is
telling
serious.
you.
All right, 5-star reviews. Thanks for joining. Seeking Wisdom promo code. Get those tickets now. We gotta sell some tickets. Let's go.
We got to sell some tickets. I like my job. Go. Peace.
See ya.